So we're going to start building this rig here. Start with the tripod. The first thing I'm going to do is mount a Magic Arm to the bottom of this here. And I'm going to use the short one here because this is going to be my battery, and it's going to go under here like that. And that's going to hold the battery out. So the first thing you want to do with these Magic Arms, if you've never used them before, is these little parts right here with the grips on them actually turn, but they can unscrew from this actual part here. I don't know if you can see that. So what you want to do is tighten this up first. Then you want to turn these counterclockwise until they're tight. Then you want to loosen this. And then what that'll allow you to do is to turn this whole screw. And it makes it a lot easier to put things on. So I don't know if that makes sense. If you have one, then you will understand it. So you can go like this instead of turning the whole Magic Arm around like this. If you have one, then you'll understand. In addition to that, you have these little notches here. I don't know if you can see that, but these little notches that are cut out, and these allow you to move this ball head down like this to get angles, like 90-degree angles like this. So I want this angle. I want this angle to be like this. If I didn't have it like this, this is as far as I could go. But if I go like this, now I can make that angle straight up. So I want the battery to be sticking straight up here, and I want my 1/4-20 mount on the side to be facing that way. So once I angle it the way I want it, I want this to be sticking straight out like this because I'm going to have my battery mount there. So I'll tighten this, and I'm trying to do this so you can see it. Hopefully you can. So next thing I'll do is I'll take my battery mount here, and I have these 1/4-20 mounts on the bottom or on the back. And then I have some on this side here. And I want to use these here because if this were set up to do to go on the back of a camera, this is how it would be. This will go, my camera will go here, and then the battery will be on the back. But I'm going to fold this instead, lock this down here, and I want to use this, which would typically go on the tripod, to connect to here. So I'm going to turn it to the side so you can see. So I want to go ahead now, because I tighten this, I'm going to have to spin this one. So I'm going to hang it off the edge, and I'm going to spin it here. I know it's out of focus for a second. Bear with me. Okay, now that this is on here, what I want to do is I'm going to hold off on putting the battery on first so it doesn't block the view of everything. The next thing I want to do is I want to actually put the DJI Osmo together. The way this works is I'm just going to open this up. There's a little tab here. Once I open that up, I'm going to put this over the Osmo, and you're just going to line up the buttons here. And then once they're lined up, then you just close it, and you should hear it click just like that. And now it's on there. So once it's on there, all you have to do is continue. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to take the tripod plate here, and I want to go ahead and connect this to the bottom. And this is just a 1/4-20 screw, nothing spectacular. And this flips down, and then I can go ahead and mount this to the tripod. So I'll put this up top and screw it down. Now, I want to put some accessories on the side of this here, on the side of my Osmo. So I'm going to turn this to the side so you can see it. So this is another Magic Arm. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you what I mean. So right now, if I were to try to put this on, you see how this can come off? This can actually come all the way off if I keep screwing it. But these are locked down tight, these little balls in here. So if I crank this down, so like tighten these really tight, I don't want to overdo it, I want to break it. But then if I loosen this up just a bit, now these should turn the whole thing there, see? So it's like it's torqued. So now I can screw this on like this. And let me turn it towards me. I'm trying to let you guys see it so you can see how everything goes. But if I, hold on, I'm sorry guys. You're gonna have to bear with me. All right. Screw this on like this. And once that's on, now you have to be careful because this link between the base here and the actual DJI if you can see, if you move it, it kind of wobbles. So I know Smallrig has another one that covers both of these, and I'm thinking that that might be the route to go. But if you're careful with it, you'll be fine. So I want to angle this. I don't want to tighten that up too much yet, because I want this to be able to freely move around and spin. So I'm going to take my cell phone mount here, which has a 1/4 on the back. I'm just going to spin it on. And then once it's tight on here, then I'm going to angle it probably right about here. I like it right there. And then just tighten it up. And there we go. Now for the other side here, I'm going to take my DJI mic mini. So I'm going to take the mini right here, and I'm going to put it right here. Now I don't have a way to do this, so I forgot to include this, but this is a 1/4 with the RE locating pins to cold shoe, so that I can put this mic in here. I'll put this in the description as well. But I'm going to line these holes up here and just screw this in. So now you see this just screws right in there. I hope you can see that. And I'm just going to put the microphone in there. There we go. And that part is good to go. Now I still need to mount my light, which I'm going to use another Magic Arm here. And then I'm going to mount the light. So again, I'm going to make sure this is tightened, and I'm going to counterclockwise on these so that they lock down into the balls. Then I can loosen this up. And once it's loose, now I should be able to turn that. So again, I'm going to use this 1/4 mount on the side here. And I'm going to screw this in. Now this is a little bit tricky. And the reason why is because when you put the weight of this light on here, it's going to tend to want to unscrew the other way. So what I do is, after I get this hand tightened on here, then I tighten this up. And again, once I tighten this up, this locks. There's some pins in here that actually, let me turn this way. So when you turn this locking, dial here, it pushes against some rods that doesn't allow these ends to move. So I want to lock these down, not too tight. Now I don't want to over tighten it. Then I just want to turn it here. I'm turning the whole thing clockwise just to make sure it's tight. Once it's tight, then I can loosen this back up again. So that's the key to these Magic Arms, is to loosen and tighten things when you need it. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit more. Okay, so now this turns. Screw this on. And there we go. And I want to line this up right about here. Just like that. And tighten it. Now that shouldn't go anywhere. So now when I turn this way, this is going to be the front of my tripod. And the only thing I have to do now is mount my battery. And let's see, let me straighten this light out. Just mount my battery and my phone. So I'm going to take the battery. This is the Smallrig, this is the 50 here. I'm going to put this on the front. Then I'm going to take my cable. There's a USB A here. I'm going to just plug it in here. Second, you guys. There we go. So I can just plug this in. That's charging. You'll see the battery come on in a second. There it goes. And then I'm going to use my other USB cable. I have a USB-C to USB-C adapter. And this is going to go again from the battery. Oops. It's going to go from the battery directly into the back of the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. All right, and then the last thing I want to do is connect or put my phone in the holder here. And that's it. And that is the rig. Actually, one more piece here. And that is this reflector here. Let's move this just a little bit out of the way so I can get more. There we go. And once you get this set up just the way you want it, then you should be good to go. And there we go. That is the rig. And it's ready to go. Now, the other thing you can do if you want is you can unplug this from here. And then I could take this off. And I could just have this as a standalone rig right here. And this is what you saw me with on the other video when I was recording at the dealership. So I can just have this way, turn this on, and then I could load up my app. And this would be just an external monitor. That's what I could use this for. Open up the Mimo app. When you take off the Osmo like this I believe changes this whole camera. It does make it bigger. However, it's one of those things where you could see your screen. So if you wanted to monitor this, you can. So if I want to take this off, because I want more grip, I just put this big one on here. And this is the battery. And now I have, let me make sure it's clipped on there because I don't want it to fall off. Okay, so now it's clipped on there. Now I have this setup here. So I can hold this, and it actually is much better to hold because I have more on here. And even if I wanted to go a step farther, you could take this part of the tripod here, screw this on, and what this will do is just give you even more. So you have a handle. Now, or you could take this off, you could screw this to the bottom here. And when you do this, now you have this. So you can operate this with two hands now if you want. So that just makes things a lot more steady. You don't have to worry about this kind of pulling your hand this way or even this tugging on this too much. So now you can just balance it. And this is a really balanced rig right here because you have it with both hands. So it just literally makes things a lot easier. So let me know what you guys think about this setup. Is this something you would do? I'm going to tell you why I think this is one of the best tripods that you can get. The first is the size. Again, if you know anything about this channel, I harp on size because size is something that can get in the way of your creativity. If you're traveling and things like that, you have this big setup that you're trying to take around with you. 9 times out of 10, either A, you're not going to take it with you just because it's too big and bulky, or B, is going to limit your creativity because it's just taking up so much space and so much of your mind that you just won't create. So that's why I like this tripod, is it's a good size. The second reason is this tripod's versatility. When it comes to versatility, that's just the ability to mount different things to it. And for this tripod to be able to do all kinds of different things. So you're not buying a bunch of different pieces of equipment to do what this one piece of equipment can do for you. And in the long run, that not only saves you time, energy, and your creativity gets to keep flowing, but it also saves you money as well. So again, versatility is something that this tripod will give you. Now, next one is this tripod simplicity, which kind of goes in with this versatility, but it's a little bit different in that a simple setup is just quick and easy. And it's not going to be something that takes up a lot of your time. And it's not going to be really complicated to learn and to implement into whatever it is that you're doing. So when you're shooting, again, you just want something simple that just works. Now, as you get your pattern down and you get all of the things that you're trying to accomplish down, then you can start to add complexity to whatever it is that you're doing. But for the most part, and most people, you're going to want to keep things very simple. The last one here is cost. We often attribute value to the price that we pay. So if something costs more, then it must be more valuable. And in a lot of cases, that is true. But in this case, that's not necessarily the fact. In fact, the true fact is that Smallrig and a lot of these other companies are starting to build things of high quality that doesn't cost a lot. I have a lot of different Smallrig things here, and I have had none of them break on me, and they're really good. I know some people have had issues, but people are always going to have issues with anything because people don't take the same level of care with things, and sometimes things just may happen. But for the most part, I can say that Smallrig products, although they cost a lot less than things, they're built really well, and for the most part, I think they're really good quality products. So again, this is a low cost, lightweight, versatile, compact tripod that is going to allow you to take this thing with you, and it's not going to get in the way of your creativity. And then when you add the Magic Arm and all these other things to it, it's actually going to be so versatile that it's going to allow you to be able to not think about recording and actually think more about your content, which in my opinion is the most important thing. So let me know what you guys think about the tripod and this whole rig that I put together here, and if it's something that you want to look into yourself and that you would buy, and different ways you can use it. If you have any questions as well, let me know. Also, I did editing with these AirPod Maxes, and I have some interesting ideas and some interesting thoughts about these. If you want to hear what I have to say about that, then click the like button, let me know, and then I might do something a little bit different on this channel. But until next time, I'll holler at y'all later. I'm out. Peace.